Hi guys, I'm Jamie New, the founder of Smartest You, and in this video you're going to learn how to write an email to a venue or a talent buyer or promoter to book a show. We cover the 5 things to keep in mind before you even begin writing the email, 5 points to include in your email, writing the subject line, what to do if you're totally new to a market, what to do after you've sent your email, and what not to do. Also, as always, make sure you check out the description of this video after you're done watching to download your free Artist Management Startup Kit if you have not yet. Before you begin writing your email, there are 5 important things you need to keep in mind. Number 1 is to always check the venue's website for any submission specifics. They may have some or they may not have any listed, but just make sure you check first to avoid frustrating the venue buyer because they may just send you right back to their website. Number 2 is understand that you are selling a live show. You want to paint a picture in their mind about your music and your amazing live performance, which we'll go over later in this video. Number 3 is look at it from a business standpoint and think about what is in it for them. What do they want? What are they looking for? So aside from the music and the awesome live show you're going to put on, a buyer also pays attention to your image and your branding, how much money you're potentially going to make their venue. And other than that, sometimes it can just come down to, honestly, whether you're a good person or not, or have a good reputation or not. But in general, think about what the buyers want before even reaching out to them. And this goes back to checking their website, etc. Number 4 is sometimes it comes down to who you know. People like doing business with familiar people, so if you can, try to get connected through other people. This is why in the industry it's so important to always be building your network, including becoming friends with people in other bands, which can sometimes lead to support slots or co-headlining shows or many other fun artist opportunities such as songwriting, etc., etc. Number 5 is don't undersell yourself, but don't oversell yourself. Just be completely truthful. Okay, so those are the 5 things that you want to keep in mind before you begin writing your email, and now I'm going to talk about the 5 things you want to include in the body of your email. So first, you want to keep it short, but not too short. You just want to select only the best information to put forward and make sure your writing is professional. So number 1, you want to include your desired date and tour routing. So mention what date you'd like to play their venue, but first check the website to make sure that that night isn't already booked. And if there is already a show on that night, you could maybe ask to be added to the bill or ask to open up for whichever artist is performing. But only do this if you believe you would fit the bill or make a good opening act. And what is a bill? Some of you might be wondering. Generally, that's what we call the lineup of artists performing a show. Additionally, you want to note your tour routing if this is a tour so that they know your plan and they know that you have a plan that looks good on you. And it can also help them to suggest a surrounding date if that date doesn't work, if they know what your tour routing is. Number 2 is your package. So you want to explain what your package is, which is your live performance and what it consists of. So how long is the show? What's the genre? What's the vibe? What happens in your show? And make sure your show suits their venue. Number 3 is you want to include a live performance video. You can explain to them all you want about how great your performance is, but your best bet is to back up your description and send them a link to a well-done, good-sounding live performance video so that they can get an idea of how you perform live by just watching. Send your best possible footage and don't ever send actual files. Just send one link to your best video. Number 4 is your bio and your noteworthy section. So you want to include a short point form bio and a point form list of all the noteworthy things about your band, such as any recent tours you've been on, awards you've had, radio or sales stats, and any artists you've been direct support for, etc. You can also include a link to your EPK if you want instead, or you can write it out in addition to sending them a link to your EPK. But either way, you're going to want to send your EPK, your website, and your social media. Number 5 is audience proof. You want to show your history in that particular market and how many fans you'll expect. I'll talk about if you don't have proof of stats in a moment, but you can start by telling them your previous or recent show turnouts, your average merchandise sales if you have any, tell them about your stats, so check your Google, Facebook, Twitter, mailing list analytics. For example, you could say, we have 200 Facebook fans that are from your city. And you may not have that many, but you should be relatively aware of how many fans you can bring out in a certain market based on your stats, or if you've been there before. Okay, so what if you are totally new to that market, or you're just a totally new band in general? Okay, so let's say you have 0 stats, the little noteworthy items, and you can't prove that you have an audience or potential payoff for the venue to book you at all. Well, then at this point, you just want to send them a link to your best possible song or live video stating what you're up to in a professional manner and that you'd like to play their venue to simply build your audience. At this point, the music will dictate whether or not they add you to someone else's bill or add you to a night. If they do decide to book you and you're that new, just make sure understand that you're not going to make any money. And if you're new to that market and don't have any stats but have played shows before, then you can simply say, we played blank venue recently, we had blank fans show up, and we sold blank amount of dollars in CDs and t-shirts. Okay, so now let's talk about the subject line. You want to give as much information as possible in the subject line because so many bookers get so many emails that they request long subject lines, which helps them figure out if they should urgently read your email or not. That being said, don't put urgent in the subject line because it's never urgent to them. A simple suggestion is to just put your artist's name in the city on date. If you want, you can also consider adding a super noteworthy attention-grabbing point in there as well. That's up to you and see if it fits. So part 3 of this video is after you've sent your email, put a reminder in your calendar to follow up in 7 days. If they haven't gone back to you in 7 days, then email again and just simply say something like, hey, just wanted to make sure you received my email, or hey, so-and-so, I'm just following up on my email. Stay in touch, but don't harass them and don't email them every single 7 days. Just start with 7 days and then maybe do another 2 weeks after that. And if you want, you can email them again and update them on any bookings that you've added to your tour routing if it's your tour, and tell them you'd really like to nail down their venue on that date, sort of thing. Okay, so as for what not to do not get the person's name wrong. If you don't know their name, just say hello. Do not get the venue name wrong, the showcase name wrong, the festival name wrong. Do not be unprofessional or too casual, and since you'll be sending essentially the same email to all venues and promoters, you'll be doing a lot of copy and pasting, right? So make sure you check everything, change the email subject and the names of the venues and dates within the email, because you'll look pretty stupid if you don't, and it could result in a delete on their end. I've been guilty of doing this. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share, comment, and let us know what else you'd like to know about. Share it with your fellow music industry friends, and thank you for watching.